Thank you very much, Mrs. Aaron. The Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Minister for Housing, Mr. Austri, articulated our relationship, our friendship, our admiration for the humanitarian groups in Dominica. And there are quite a number of the groups here, and the IOM, International Office of Migration, is really the coordinating arm of all of these humanitarian groups, which includes Israel Aid, Samaritan's Purse, Shelter Box, UNDP, Digicel Foundation, Red Cross, quite a number of groups throughout the country. They came in very early and have been participating in the relief process in Dominica. And they're here as well, they're still here participating in the recovery process. While participating in these processes, the humanitarian groups have conducted what is referred to as tracking matrices or tracking matrix. They've conducted vulnerability assessments of vulnerability groups, assessments in terms of shelter, and NFIs, that is non-food items. They've been very much involved in that. As indicated by the Honorable Minister, some 25,000 plus tarpaulins have been distributed throughout the country, and that has assisted us, albeit a temporary measure, to rehouse persons. They've been involved in the distribution of tents as well. But it must be noted that they've also been involved in the distribution of kitchen kits, toiletries, hygiene kits, blankets, clothing, mosquito nets, and they are at the stage of gathering building materials to assist us in the recovery process. As the Honorable Minister mentioned, we are now at the stage of transition houses whereby persons in shelters, internally displaced persons in shelters, to move out from these shelters into transition homes. And so we've been receiving materials from friendly governments and agencies, but even these humanitarian groups themselves, with some of their own funds, have procured building materials, and they are partnering with us here in Dominica as we go on in the recovery, the transition stage of housing here in Dominica. So we really want to be thankful to the humanitarian groups. They conduct these assessments in the shelters, and they've indicated their findings as to reasons why persons have not been able to move out of the shelters yet and move into their homes. What do they need? And they've said they've picked up, and we ourselves have picked it up as well, that in terms of roofing sheets, persons say they need roofing sheets. Some 39 persons of shelters indicate that they need roofing sheets. About 25% require timber for construction. Some need tools, or some 16%. And even blocks as well. Some 5% or so of the persons in shelters have indicated to us and the humanitarian groups that is where their needs are. But we've also spoken of the comprehensive building damage assessment that is going on throughout the country, and that exercise is that comprehensive that it is going to inform policy as far as the reconstruction phase is concerned. And the Honorable Minister spoke to the various initiatives that are being undertaken as far as the reconstruction phase is concerned. One point that we've not mentioned as yet that I would want to speak to is that the aspect of training. And we were fortunate over a 2-week period in Dominica to have with us the Barbadian national, Mr. Grenville Phillips, who is the president of Walbrent College. And Mr. Phillips was here conducting training on repairing and rebuilding of roofs and timber frame buildings in Dominica. The training was conducted far and wide in some 12 communities throughout the country. And from all reports, the information was very, very, very well received. In the quest to build back our roofs stronger, Mr. Phillips proposed quite a number of initiatives, and we're thankful to the Government Information Service, GIS, who's recorded one of those sessions, and it is my understanding that after editing, this will be placed on the YouTube channel for the population to benefit from it. So yes, this training was conducted by Mr. Grenville Phillips, and artisans, builders, contractors benefited, but also the advertisement called for homeowners, bankers, insurance companies, and particularly in the urban environment when the training was conducted, and more specifically the final one that was conducted at the Newton Primary School last Friday. The room was full, in excess of possibly 200 persons were there, a lot of homeowners, and the information was very, very well received. Mr. Phillips emphasized the use of hurricane straps and ties throughout the roofing system to ensure that our roofs are stronger. It's all of this technical language, like I indicated, it's recorded and will be on the YouTube channel, so we will benefit from that. But just to say that in the event that persons do not have access to the internet, do not have access to YouTube for now, and they still wish to receive that information, we at the Ministry of Housing are ready and willing to assist in disseminating that information. The Honorable Minister made mention of the fact that persons are indicating that they want to go into concrete, but we still see the need for timber. And in fact, we have interest coming from Trinidad and Guyana by way of timber. Mr. Phillips took the liberty to speak to a technical term that we call shear walls. Time does not permit me to get into shear walls right now. But yes, even in timber buildings, we can have what is referred to as shear walls, and these will enable our buildings to be stronger. Of course, with the addition of all these metal straps and ties in the roofs, this will enable our buildings to be stronger. So all is not lost. We are approaching the reconstruction phase, and we are hoping that all of this training, in fact, the Ministry of Planning, Physical Planning Division are currently conducting training for builders and contractors, particularly in the use of the building codes. So we do hope that the fact that we've been impacted so severely by Hurricane Maria, it will behoove us, homeowners, to avail ourselves of the opportunities, of the information needed as we proceed in Dominica in the process of building back better and stronger. So we really want to express our thanks to Mr. Grenville Phillips, the Caribbean Development Bank, who facilitated his visit here in Dominica. And also we want to express our thanks to the various humanitarian groups coordinated by IOM who are here on island participating with us as we move from relief to recovery to reconstruction. Thank you.